Hello everyone, this is for week 7 of the discussion board. It was quite an interesting topic that was discussed. Music and therapy. I personally had not really thought of this type of therapy before. Of course, I knew of music as a self-care activity, something to do to relax. But to be honest with you guys, I did not know that music therapy existed. Uh, but after even watching a couple of your guys' videos here, I'm glad that people knew about it, and I kind of feel a little guilty that I didn't. Um, but as I went through those links and as I read the history and all those things, and what really stayed with me were the personal stories. Um, the video of Forrest, even though it was a long video, it was so worth watching. If you didn't have a chance to do so, I'd really encourage you to see his transformation is unbelievable, and I cannot think of a better word to describe it. It really is unbelievable to see the transformation that happened in that young man due to um, due to music therapy. His father mentioned it in the video how they tried every other type of therapy and nothing else had worked. But music therapy did the trick. I was just as impressed with the therapist himself. What an example he was of perseverance and hard work and empathy, really empathy. But Forrest's resilience will stay with me for a while. The other video was Larry, which was such an amazing person, uh, and an incredible artist, as his wife put it in the video. There wasn't anything that he couldn't do. This man could do anything he set his mind up to, uh, until he had that seizure that unfortunately affected him. But music was the only thing that his wife said, or music therapy was the only thing that, as his wife mentioned, that did the trick. That it is when she was able to see the old Larry again as he was playing the guitar with the therapist and as he was dancing around and moving around. So I will definitely do more research on this, so that, why not give it um, more time than just for an assignment. Even though I'm not that much musically inclined, I love music, but I'm not musically inclined, so I can't play the guitar or the piano like the videos showed that the music therapists did. But this is definitely not the last time that I will look this uh, subject or this type of therapy up. Um, when it comes to music and the role that it plays in my self-care, it is a big part of my self-care. Even um, as this class started, one of the first activities that I chose from the Padlet as self-care activity was the music, or was music. So I can say that music has been part of my self-care since I was a little child. When I was a kid, I remember my father would, um, as we were doing homework, my sister and I were in our room, and my father would come in and every an hour or two, and he would just ask us to interrupt our homework, and he would ask us to join him. And he was very musically inclined himself, played multiple instruments, so he would play something for us. We would just kind of have this little dance party together. And at the time, I just thought, this is awesome. And I was just in elementary school, and I loved it. But then it wasn't until later that I made the connection that it was that perfect balance that my father helped us find between something that can be considered stressful as schoolwork, as homework, especially at such a young mind, and he found this balance with music that he introduced us to, and it made a whole it made such a huge difference in the way that my sister and I perceived homework and school and stress in general. So yes, music is definitely a, a big part of my self-care. I we were supposed to practice 30 minutes, but I practice at least 30 minutes of that every day, and I have done so especially since we started this class together. So there's something about music, and I think it has to do with the simplicity of it, and that there's a way that music finds a way to connect with the inner me that even I cannot sometimes. But through music, I can. I can find that happy place that I can go to when I'm stressed, or it really removes my mind from the stressor that I am struggling with at the time, and it regenerates my batteries, sort of saying. So it's yeah, um, it's usually that's usually the experience that I have with music. The two activities that I chose for this week, one was to go and play basketball. I love soccer, but basketball is another favorite sport of mine that I hadn't played in a while, so I chose to do that. And actually, it was funny because I was writing my capstone paper, and I was just drawing this blank. And as I was staring at the screen for a few minutes, not knowing what to add, I was like, you know what? I think this is the perfect time for me to get up and go to the rec center. So I just got up, went to the rec center, played some basketball. I came back and worked on my paper for an extra hour before I went to bed. And that extra hour after the exercise was so much more productive than the other 2 or 3 hours that I worked on the paper uh, prior to that. And so, yeah, I definitely spent a couple hours doing that, and yeah, it's been a good week so far. Thank you.